Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm Alex Antuna and I'll be continuing on this model that I started. For anybody who's been following this model, it's been taking a little bit, kind of one of those ones where just kind of get zoned out and just start adding detail here and there. Starting to add a little folds, get some of these details a little bit more refined, something that'll get lost. Just want to get a few little things in here. I might start coloring just to get a little bit of a base to kind of get a little bit of an idea. Some poly paint in here. See what we can feel, get a feeling from this model, so we can start moving forward a little bit quicker. I feel like this phase you can get lost and do this all day. Like all these little details, you can do this all day long. So it's the fun part, but also it can suck you in, and you won't. A lot of times is where you don't finish if you get sucked in too far into that rabbit hole. You're just kind of like, I meant to finish that, but it starts taking longer than expected. So I'm going to try to put a little deadline on this thing. Make sure that I gotta get it done so it doesn't take too long. Look like it's pinching skin right here. That it's a little bit of that fold. Some texture in there. Let's go ahead and start some color, get in there, get something going. Pick some. I'm gonna use, I guess, the little color. I forget what it's called. And where are you at? Color picker thingy. It's been a little rusty on this part. I usually use like tool bag lately, so I'm kind of gotta get back into this. Let's get where, let me find it. Z color. There you are, buddy. Let's pull this up. So we've got colors here. I've got some other colors from other projects that I've thrown in here. I like this right here. This little, the SB ones, and these actually were pulled in from like Adobe Color. I don't know what they call it now. It used to be called Color or some weird spelling, but I think we can go with this purple hue in this little area right here. We can always adjust from that. So let me go ahead and get something set up. Let's yeah, we can do that. Set color a little bit. So let's go ahead and fill this in, fill color. We could probably go a little lighter. Let me go ahead and show what I'm doing here. I'm going to set the color. We'll go in that family. We'll stay in that family a little bit. That way we can start adding and taking away. So let's add this color in. Let's see. Set. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Append. Yeah. Let's see if that goes. Nope, wrong way. Wrong way. Let's go. I think that's it. I think it's over here. Add the swatches. There you go. I'm a little rusty. Gotta admit. Okay, so we're back on track. So let's go into and start adding some. I guess we'll start painting. We can use in your brush. I'm gonna push this to the side. Your brushes, if you press P, there's usually a paint. Well, P and A, you'll get this right here. So we can use that for painting. That's usually a good brush to go with. And let's go ahead and start. Let's fill that color. Fill this in. Fill object. And so now I turn this little paintbrush off. For anybody who's ever used ZBrush, and over the years, when I first used ZBrush, I did this whole polypaint on this character, right? And I guess this got turned off, and I felt like I lost like a week's worth of work. But at the time, there wasn't really many videos back then to actually tell tell me that, you know, there was something wrong there. So it's fine. Oh, why didn't you feel it? Okay, so I got the paint. The texture is gonna change. Go to this mRGB fill color. We're gonna fill it, but I don't want this. I want this one. Set the color, then fill. I'm gonna fill the object, so that's the color, and then we're gonna do. Let's do a little dark. And go from here. Start to brush in. What I like to do is go and get a little color spray. We're going to start to vary it a little bit. I usually try to go lighter, but this is just going to be a little accent. So we got to get some of this stuff back in here and start getting some details and poly paint. And if I'm going to do when I do that retopology, I want to start, you know, keeping it real. These horn details, I can actually start with the different. What I had to do was uncheck this little paint. That's why I was filling it in. It was giving it a little of that. I'm gonna lighten this very light, just to give this variation there, maybe all this area. Let's give this. It's kind of like airbrushing. If you ever airbrushed, this is what it feels like, airbrushing a little bit on a 3D model, you know. I haven't airbrushed in a little bit. I've got a set, but I just haven't really got it out. Has a lot to do with my compressor. I used to have a travel compressor. That would help. But, you know, I gotta update some stuff eventually. So let's go and give him a little bit of a mouth. I started thinking, did I give him enough teeth? You know? But then I started looking, he's got the beak kind of thing so he can tear, and he's got the teeth. So I was like, yeah, I think he's okay. He's gonna be alright. He'll live. So we're gonna just kind of accent these little horn pieces that make him a little bit more different than his flesh. It's okay if it bleeds a little bit. We're just trying to fill in these gaps. I'm gonna kind of get this, that. A little more right there. And this is just gonna be a layering process. I probably should have done it in layers, but I'm not really at that point. I feel like if I go to layers, I'm gonna have the option to backtrack. I don't want to do that. I want to keep moving forward. Just overall general brush. Getting this in there. Hopefully, I want to start getting back into plasticity again. Start doing some 3D prints, getting the model out. But I haven't really. I've been trying to focus in on this model. I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave it out there. I want to keep going. Don't forget to save. I'll save. Save. A lot of times, even just painting can add a little bit more detail than even on top of texturing and stuff. Can cheat some heavier dirt under these little scales. So once I get a little bit more of this detail in, I'll show you. And we might give him his nails a little bit color too, just kind of vary it up. There we go. A little bit here and there. Who knows where is this gonna go and where it's gonna take us, this model. But it's been fun. It's a fun model. His legs are weird right there. Should have he's got like a weird hook, but I guess it's gonna be his character. It's gonna be what he is. He's got the hook knees. Old hook knees right there. This, just trying to get something blocked in. I don't want to waste too much time. Need to detail those a little bit better. Lost their sharpness. He's kind of got a bronzy feel, but we're gonna dirty him up, give him a little bit more. So, his teeth, let's go ahead and fill those in. Let's give it a color about right there. RGB. I really just wanted RGB, but he's gonna get both RGB. So for anybody who is using ZBrush, there's two things. You got your RGB. It's mainly your color, and your material RGB also includes this, your materials, whatever you apply. When you apply it at 100%, that I didn't do it here, but so if I apply this, it should go to the teeth now. So select this teeth and fill. So now this material is applied to that, and let's go and give his eyes this dark chrome, just to kind of fill it in for now. And his tongue, we can just kind of block in a color. We don't want it like that. Yeah, we'll go with that. Fill it in, and we can paint it later. But let's start getting a little more layering it up. Like to keep it going. I'm gonna try to lighten this color. So let's go to set color, and we're gonna just kind of bring it up a little bit so we can start to bring it on and off. Let's just keep it that light. I don't want to mess with any of the material anymore once it's got applied. So I kind of get this in there. Let's keep it a little more brown here. So we're going to start filling in some of the stuff too. Some red. Sounds a little fleshy, you know. Just giving him a little character. There we go. And at first, I guess this is gonna look like a mess, just me just going everywhere to give everything. But I'm just trying to give a little more randomness, and then we're gonna go back and refine some stuff. But right now, we just want to fill in these fleshy areas. This is where he's gonna be breathing a little bit from his body. That's the way I think about it. Like he's got a kind of like gills. So we can go in the water or something, I guess. It's more half water, you know, half land, half water. You have a little good brightness right there, so let's kind of accent some areas of his body. If you ever forget I need to detail that a lot. This missed a lot down here. You can see, but what you can do is also press C, and that also will select for anybody who's curious about that. But yeah, so C usually works pretty close. It doesn't. Sometimes it'll blend two colors together. So give his hands a little bit details, feet, just in case. You never know. Might be looking under there, depending on how this is used. So over here. There we go. See how he looks. Do a little quick render. See if we can get some of the other details just to pop a little bit more right here. Okay, so just a little purple, a little bit purple, well, a lot purple really, but let's give them a little blue. Let's set this color in here. Let's get some blue. So I am using this little color picker here. And what I'm doing is just picking the color and go set color and it drops it over here. This way it kind of keeps it going, keeps that momentum. Huh, interesting. Look at that. It does right away. Just drop that down, just kind of vary it up. Get a little more flesh. Some of the stuff. So let's go here. There. Oh, memory. Let's save. You know, when you see something like that pop up, like it's always good to kind of go back where you came from. So let's give it a little bit more yellow. Back in. Let's just kind of go in here, start to accent some stuff. See where we're going. Like the stretchy feeling that we're getting here. Okay, we gotta get both sides. See? Get a little browner color. Let's see what else we got. A little more flesh. Slowly work it in. This is a little bit of a slow process to do too, but it's always fun too. Gums a little bit more right there. If we really want to, we can like go a little more red right there. See, then we can give him more flesh to his face and everything. More yellow here. Yeah, there was a project, or not a project, I was learning ZBrush years ago. I lost everything. I was just kind of like, it really discouraged me. I almost didn't come back to ZBrush because of it. I almost just kind of, for a moment. And just kind of, well, actually for a few months, not a few months, maybe a few weeks, but I was like, man, I don't trust this program. But there was not really any information online, and I had a friend give me some videos to learn from, so that kind of helped. And then I realized it was my fault. Didn't know the program enough, and so that's what happened. It's a tricky program if you're used to like 3D Max or anything else. The hotkeys are not, they're not what every other program uses, so it makes it a little difficult sometimes. Okay, so we got that. Let's see what else we got. So if I were to toggle this right here, this is what I didn't know back then that you could do. Let's see, the teeth, his eyes, his tongue. So I thought I had lost everything. So for a little bit here, let's go ahead and sample this, and we're gonna go a little more gray and dark, a little more dark. Just gonna kind of work this. It's a little bit of a cheat of an ambient occlusion here. It's cool when you bake the high to low details, but it also helps having these extra painted details too if you're gonna use this in a 3D application. So it's kind of just pushing and pulling a little bit with this right here so far. It's like airbrushing, really. Or if you like doing those miniature models, I imagine that's kind of like a little bit like where you just kind of get lost in that detail. Kind of paint that in. And just keep working it until you get a little bit where I need to be. Just kind of keep going. See how much that did? And if I were to increase this like up, you'd be able to see where it's going. Like, it's real harsh right there, but I don't want to do that. I want to layer it on there. I don't want a harsh line. I want it to be a little friendly with each other. See? And it's almost just as important to me as the sculpting when you get these little details in there, because this is that last little touch. Let's see. See that? It's crazy. So if I were to toggle that, you can see like just that little bit, just kind of playing with the shadow and light. Kind of get under here. Start giving them like a rib cage a little bit better. You start to see. I can still add more cuts and details back in there too, if you really want to go that route. I'm just trying to get something done, like I said. If I drag it on too long, it won't get done. So it's not a bad thing, I guess, but it's kind of like, as an artist, you wanna finish some stuff. You don't want to keep doing it. Work in progress forever, you know. Well, most pieces are. If you could work on everything forever, you would, right? As an artist, we usually just want to keep perfecting. But that's the other challenge where I would be like, that's why I like doing those competitions for personal stuff. You just kind of get, when I was first learning, if that's, you know, something you dig. But it helped me kind of keep a deadline in mind when I was trying to get into ZBrush and learn stuff. Those little deadlines were enough to get you going. So let's save. Don't trust the computer. You know, just keep saving when you can. So you can see right here is just pops just that little bit, even though it's not much, but it's there. Like, watch, if I'm grading it off, it's almost like it's working with the lighting and stuff. I do need to get under here and add some kind of detail, but we'll figure that out in a bit. I want to get this, for this lunch period, a little bit more blocked out. Let's get something there. And even here you can just see that I can accent stuff. Started thinking how much I want to clean up the mesh, so I can, if I want to put a rig on it, because he's got the shoulder detail and everything, so I'm like, how much do I want to show to retopologize that? Do I want each one of those? I'm going to have to do something, right? He's going to be a little bit, he's going to be pretty heavy. He's going to be a heavy model. There's no joke. I really want that to shine, not be flat. Or I do a displacement. That's the other option. But I don't want to have to fight it to get it just right either. I just model it in. It's like, what have you done? So we can do this like that. And even these little pits, you can just accent even more. See? And just keep going, keep going. So yeah, I had to get over that that thought whenever I first did this in ZBrush, like, oh, I lost my stuff, and then when I realized it was me, then I was just like, all right, game back on. But it was discouraging, a little discouraging. Kind of blend this in. So this is where I'm using the C to select, and just kind of get a little color back and forth. Trying to seesaw with this. See, that's how he's looking. So let's get that color right there, and let's darken it just some more again. And let's start getting these a little bit. You start to see. And this will help too if that topology's not reading as good, it'll help a little bit there too. Few more minutes and I gotta shut it down. There we go. We'll just pull some color here and then just kind of blend it over a little bit. There we go. How's that look? So yeah, that kind of comes around like it's flesh. It's just blending with a horn and everything else. Let's get that little dark right there. Get this in there real quick. You can also blur the color if you If you don't know, for anybody learning, you can use smooth, and instead of doing the add, you can use the color. So if I turn this off, oops, blur it. It probably doesn't show up too good though. Let's see. Let's see if it'll blur. Well, at least that's how I remember it. Yeah, it's not blurring as good as I hoped it would. Have to probably do both. But either way. Then again, it's been a while. I might be thinking of a different program. So there is that. So. Now you got me curious. Got to do it before. Let's see. No. Escape. Ready to go. Where'd you go, buddy? Let's see. Alright, let me try this real quick. I gotta test it now. I don't want to say something that was like, yeah, you can do this. So we got that. And I got my paint. All the way up. Make poly mesh. Now, do this. Okay, so I got that. Let's go here. It's just a harsh. Let's just do a harsh color. And let me see. There's that intensity. So yeah, it was too much polygons. I think if I were to lower it to, it'll vary. But yeah, you can hold shift and blur it. I was starting to think, I was like, maybe I'm thinking of a different program. Sorry, I had to make sure that I was accurate for whoever's watching. I was like, I don't want to say it should be that way. But no, it's fine. So let's see what else we can get. That's about where we're gonna get it. We're gonna have to keep going on this and just slowly start to add a little bit more and more. So maybe I'm hoping to get some browns in there. Not that much, but you know what I mean. It's just gonna kind of a little bit here and there. And you saw how splotchy it was, right, in the other thing. So that's really what I'm going for, just varying up color so we can kind of give them a fleshy look. And I want to get rid of that purple almost completely. Not completely, but you know, like, to be honest, I could just do this and just kind of fill him just little by little so he's not so purple. Lighten it up. And even after this, we can still change the color and adjust more and keep adding more detail and more detail. And like I said, you can keep going in circles until you never finish, or you can just set a deadline and say, all right, we gotta get this done. So that's where I'm trying to aim towards, is getting it done. I'm hoping the retopology might be a better method for just a quick rig. I don't want to spend too much time just retopologizing. It might be good for what we do, so we'll have to see if I could do a high to low mesh, and then I could probably just get it refined on certain edges if I can look at it like that. So, but that's about where we're at today. I'm gonna shift gears, and so let's see how this looks real quick before I shut it down. So, got some more little highlights I want to keep accenting and keep pushing, and I want to start doing a little bit more cheating ambient occlusion in here at the same time. And we can do that with the mask. We can go down here to masking and masking by AO, and that's another technique where you could just go back and start painting back in. But I want to get a general overall kind of like get the colors just right, fine tune them, get the nails looking a little more gritty, fix them a little bit, fix his knee probably. So that's where I'm headed. So I hope everybody's doing well, and thanks for watching. Later.